we've talked about the horse, and we talked about the wolf, right? And the difference between the horse and the wolf is the horse, if you ever notice, if you ever watched movies, if you ever watched any video online of a horse being trained, you see that it needs to be whipped into shape. It always has some outside force to push it to do what it's supposed to do, right? So if you look at it, when they break a horse, they call it breaking a horse. They constantly are whipping the horse with this apparatus, trying to get it to do what they want it to do, to walk, to eat, to jump, all these things. So the horse is always driven by some type of outside force. It's hierarchy driven as well. A lot of people don't know, like, there's always a lead horse, and they will always follow that horse, no matter where they are. Even the leader horse has to follow the human on where it's going. Horses always are being fed by a trough. That means someone has to bring the food to them and put it on them. They eat, and then they take it off, and they take them where they need to go. They're leading them in different directions. If you ever watched a horse, it's really not an animal that will make its own decisions. The decisions are made for him and led by someone else. And then there's people who are the wolf. If you ever studied a wolf, you ever looked at a wolf, no one feeds the wolf. No one comes up and be like, hey, here you go. No, that's not going to happen. You probably lose your arm, right? But if you ever notice, the horse wakes up every morning and it knows it needs to eat. And it knows it needs to feed. So what it does is, natural instinct, it gets up and it hunts for its food. And when it's found the animal that it wants to eat for that moment, it will kill that animal and eat of that meal. Also, wolves are highly intelligent animals. They're highly strategic. They make plans ahead of time on what they're going to do. The scientists have studied that wolves are very highly intelligent, strategic animals that will first plot out what they're about to do to hunt for this animal, and then they react. They don't think, they don't do it, they just react, and they execute. So the two type of wolves, right? We're talking about the wolf who will react. It's highly intelligent, and it will hunt for its meal. The horse, we said, is driven by some outside force, and it's a follower, we'll say, right? These are the two things. Now, some of you have heard the story before. I'm not going to talk about it because we just went through both of those. But what you don't know is, and I heard this before, so there are always two wolves fighting amongst the pack. There's always two wolves fighting amongst the pack. And I want you to ask yourself for a moment, if two wolves are fighting in a pack, these are the wolves, these are the ones that I told you about, the mindsets you should have, the react, the execute mindset, the highly intelligence and going out and hunting for your food as an entrepreneur, going out and getting your money, not having the 9-to-5 mentality like a horse, but going out and hunting for your meal, eat what you kill type of mentality. So if there's two type of wolves in the field always at odds, who wins? That's what I want you to understand. If there's two wolves hunting at all times out in the field and they're at odds with each other and they both want this meal, who wins this battle? And the answer to that is the one that you feed. If two wolves are at odds in the field, the one that will win is the wolf that you feed. And the reason I say that is there's two type of wolves in the field. Now, granted, you could be a hunter, you could be highly intelligent, you can have a react and execute all you want. But if you have certain attributes about you, which is negativity, procrastination, having a dubious attitude about everything, skepticism, or if you're a highly positive person, always saying, yes, I can do this, yes, I can do that, always executing with the expectation that you're going to win, those are the two wolves that are at odds. And the only reason most of you have not won your battle out in the field is because you're feeding the negative wolf. You need to feed the positive wolf daily. These wolves wake up every day and are at odds all day long inside of your mind, the negative side and the positive side. The only time you're going to win is when you feed the positive wolf. Listen, I am Mike Burks, and I want you to go out and be successful. Feed the wolf.